What is going on, YouTube? What is going on, Kansas City? And what is going on, everybody? And welcome to the Beat of KC. Ladies and gentlemen, it's officially underway. The NFL season has been kicked off today for the Kansas City Chiefs. And let me tell you, 3,000 to potentially 4,000 loyal season ticket holders. The Chiefs Kingdom showed out today in St. Joe, Missouri, as the Kansas City Chiefs really went all out in their first practice in training camp. We were seeing all kinds of different things. Patrick Mahomes all over social media doing the no-look pass to Tyreek Hill. We're seeing Willie Gay fly all over the field doing some amazing things. I mean, honestly, ladies and gentlemen, it was an incredible thing to just sit there and watch. But this video specifically is going to be about the offensive line. We understand the Super Bowl, there were a lot of issues regarding the offensive line. But you know what? I'm going to put that in the past. Today's the official start of the new season, so we're moving forward. And with that being said, we were able to see potentially what our offensive line is going to look like going into the season. And there are some, I guess you could say, surprises potentially. So we're going to talk about the entire offensive line in this video. So if you're interested, I suggest you stay tuned right after this. But before we dive in and really talk about this upgraded offensive line, I ask that you guys smash that subscribe button, smash that like button, comment down below, and now it's time to get into the video. Let's go! I definitely think going into training camp, this is something that is going to be under a microscope, and I think the reason is because people are excited to see the upgrades. We're excited to see the shiny new toys, as some people say, because this really has been upgraded in the offseason. You go out and you make a trade for Orlando Brown. You go out and sign Joe Thuney. You go get Austin Blythe. You draft Creed Humphrey. You draft Trey Smith. You go out and sign Kyle Long. You know, you obviously you bring back Mike Rimmers. And then obviously everything else that is after that. You drafted Niang last year. You bring back Allegretti. You have LDT coming back from serving and helping people with the pandemic. Andrew Wiley. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, the list goes on. And this offensive line is looking incredible. So that was a big piece that a lot of people that cover the Chiefs immediately noticed right out the gate. So we're going to kind of give you what truly the offensive line was on the initial first team. So, of course, starting at left tackle was Orlando Brown. Then you had at left guard Joe Thuney. Creed Humphrey was your starting center. And a lot of people, you know, I think are excited about that. They're anticipating that would happen. But I think that there was a potential that they were going to make Creed earn it through camp. You know, I like what they're doing with it. I like it just immediately giving it to the young guy first day of training camp and letting him go eat. And that's something that I'm excited for. I think Creed is going to be a special offensive lineman. Really a good center for Patrick Mahomes. We've talked about this, you know, all throughout the offseason, especially since the draft happened. I mean, let's go. It's go time for sure. Then, one of the surprising ones to some people, but not a lot who have been really paying attention to what the Kansas City Chiefs are trying to do, and that is Trey Smith starting there at right guard. Some people believe LDT should be plugged in there. You know, Andy Reid is typically loyal to some of his guys. The same goes for obviously on the defensive side of the football. Spags tend to be, you know, pretty loyal to some of his guys there on the defensive side of the football. This one, I think Trey Smith earned it. I really do. And I think there's a reason why they drafted him. And rightfully so. The man goes and is a mauler at the guard position. He finishes through the whistle. We've talked about him. I've even done a draft video on Trey Smith. I was beyond excited when this draft pick happened. And I definitely thought and envisioned this potentially happening. You know, I think Kyle Long probably would have been there, from the get-go. Obviously, he goes down with an injury, put on the PUP list, and isn't probably going to return until the beginning of the season, or at least until they leave St. Joe and are heading back to practice, at One Arrowhead Drive. So Trey Smith is going to get every opportunity to be the starting right guard, and we're seeing that as they break camp and, they get out there for the first practice, and we're seeing Trey Smith there at the right guard position. And then Mike Remmers is your right tackle. You know, a lot of people believe Lucas Niang could definitely get that spot. And I definitely think that there's still a chance we could see Lucas Niang overtake Mike Remmers. But for right now, they're letting the veteran go out there and see if he can manage and hold that spot. Now, the second team, when they ran the second team out there, Lucas Niang was actually at the left tackle position. And this definitely makes sense because you want a big-bodied, offensive lineman if something were to happen to Orlando Brown. We sure hope it doesn't. But if something does happen, you want a plug-in that is very similar, and that is going to be Lucas Niang for sure. Like I said a minute ago, he could easily be the right tackle. It just depends on how the rest of this camp goes. I do like Allegretti. I've always liked Nick Allegretti. And I think him being a backup at the left guard spot, I think is very good. But he's very versatile as well on that offensive line. Austin Blythe, obviously the backup to Creed Humphrey. He's going to be playing center. And then LDT and Andrew Wiley. Again, some very versatile offensive linemen. And I definitely like that as a secondary. And if you really, really, truly think about it, that second team offensive line that you have right there, that could be a starting rotation for some football teams in the NFL. So it's nice to see the depth that was created in the offseason, keeping some of the players around, and then really adding from a draft and a free agency and even a trade perspective. So I really do like what the Kansas City Chiefs have built here, and it's going to be nice for a couple of reasons. I think one of the biggest things to always pay attention to, of course, is keeping Patrick Mahomes in the upright position and not having him immediately think, I got to scramble and make these just phenomenal, fantastic MVP-type plays that we're used to Patrick Mahomes doing. I think giving him a little pocket, protection, and letting him really kind of let the plays develop is what is number one on the list, obviously. It's just amazing to see Orlando Brown come out and say, I'm going to do everything I possibly can, basically, to not let anybody touch Patrick Mahomes. So I think that's significant in itself. I also think what this offensive line truly represents is a better running attack game. So you're giving it from two different offensive forces, basically. You're allowing Clyde Edwards-Helaire to really run the ball in the times that you really need him to. Before, I think that the offensive line had some definite weaknesses, and I think that now we're truly going to see what Clyde the Glide can really do when you hand off the ball, and I think you're going to see some crazy cool things coming because of this upgrade in the offensive line. I truly do, and I'm just excited overall for this offensive line to really kind of see what they're capable of doing. Training camp is a big time to build camaraderie, to build that teamwork, and really see what you got. And a lot of these guys are going to be new playing next to each other. So as they continue to go into training camp, they're going to be able to learn each other's footwork. They're going to be able to understand, the pulling positions and things like that. It's not that they don't understand what they're supposed to do, but as a team, you kind of sense and feel what those guys are doing. And I think that's going to be a perfect scenario when Trey Smith is having to pull and seeing how that play develops and things like that. So I really think that this is a key time for the Kansas City Chiefs and specifically the offensive line. And that's really why I wanted to do a specific video for this offensive line. I really do think that there is so much more depth that if an injury does happen, for example, the Kyle Long situation, you could easily plug Trey Smith in. You can easily plug LDT in there. If you really, really needed to, you could plug Nick Allegretti in there. I mean, the depth is there now, and it's definitely going to be very, prevalent, and you're going to be able to see that going into the season. I'm super excited. I think this is definitely, obviously this is the first day of camp, and we have tons and tons more to go, but the excitement is definitely there. You're ready to see what the Kansas City Chiefs can provide from an offensive firepower, and that's why I definitely wanted to talk about the offensive line. So I do appreciate you guys checking out this video. I would definitely love to hear your guys' thoughts down in the comments section. Let me know what you guys think of this starting offensive line that we're seeing on the first day. Obviously, you're going to see some plug and play. You're going to see some maneuvering, but I definitely think that this would be your day one, game one definitely starting offensive line. So let me know down in the comment section what you guys think. Would you plug somebody else in somewhere else? And I'm definitely interested. Would love to respond back to you guys for sure. So let me know. I appreciate you guys checking out the Beat of KC. And as always, have a good day.